Sutro bath ruins. Started construction 1894, opened to the public in 1896. Largest indoor swimming pool at the time. To give you perspective, it's where the site of the original cliff house, supposedly built in 1864, the first version, but there's no record or photos, really. Surrounding topography and geology. Something cataclysmic happened here. Sandstone. These rocks are pretty interesting in the way they have these veins running through them. And this weathering on the sandstone is from these like sea creatures burrowing into them or something. So as you can see, this is where the Pacific Ocean enters the bay. There's this dude fishing over there. So there's where the Golden Gate Bridge would be. And this I've always wondered, how did they... It's been there forever. It's built on top of a rock. Foghorn. Yeah. Here's part of the bath infrastructure. See how close they built it to the shoreline? We are high tide. And look at these stairs going into this pool right here. Yeah, waves like splashing right up. See, this pipe is where they pumped water in. Apparently during low tide they would have a turbine. Yeah, apparently they had a turbine water pump underneath this cave tunnel system to pump the water recycled during low tide. It said it was able to do 6,000 gallons per minute. Like this arch in this rock. About the wind. Yeah, so during high tide, they use the currents to recycle the water in all the pools in 1 hour. During low tide, they use the water, the turbine pump, and it was able to recycle it in 5 hours, 6,000 gallons a minute. Pretty impressive. And I'm not going to try to gaslight you or, you know, we want to get to the truth. I do think this was, we have construction photos and historical records, so I think there was some infrastructure here before, especially this aquarium thing, the seawall. that's on the map. I'll show you the survey map before you can pause. And this is where an aquarium tank, and there was just a swimming pond, and then you had like fish ponds over here. So the story goes, it struggled to maintain a profit because of high maintenance, so they turned the south end into an ice rink until 1964, and it was sold to developers to put in a high-rise apartment complex. So yeah, you're gonna love this one. They sold to developers 1964, and then in 1966 a fire destroyed the whole place while it was being demolished, and later it was determined to be arson, and the developers left town and claimed the insurance money. So it's like a setup. Now it's just part of the Golden Gate Park recreation area. So this street's right up there, the entrance coming through here. This is a massive construction undertaking. Shows you, like, how did this guy Sutro get all this wealth from a tunnel in the silver mines? It's all up in the ruins. It's only been 60 years. Fire razed it to the ground, so they say. So here's some stats. The construction, they used 100,000 square feet of glass, 600 tons of iron, 3.5 million boards of lumber, and 10,000 cubic yards of concrete. Like I said, it was the largest indoor swimming pool at the time. This is from the erosion. So there's different types of cement used. I think there was infrastructure here before he built the baths. Just new, old. Just kidding. timber. It's wooden. Yeah, just burned down to the ground, basically. Like I said earlier, we do know from the map, survey, those hand drawn, that there was a seawall here and aquarium tank before the baths. The aquarium tank would be over there in the tunnel, and this all right here is the old seawall. As you can see, it's much different style of construction and shows extreme weathering, heat damage. Now, yeah, the heat damage from the building fire would not cause this. This is on the outer wall. Let's take a look. Here's what they call fishing rock, and there was a bridge connecting to the main structure. You can get there on low tide. I think at one, pretty recently, keep in mind the ocean levels were lower. Even just 150 years ago. I can show you proof of that in another video. So there's some infrastructure in the top layer of this wall. Look at these massive boulders. Who built this? It was already here when Sutro bought the land. Okay, so I looked at that map again. It was apparently the planned plans for the site, which was a swimming pond and aquarium tank. I don't know what they found here. It's just a mix. There's all the timbers that burned down. So there's where the pools would have been. They had 6 saltwater, 1 freshwater in different pools. This was an outdoor saltwater. Would flow in. And this was where the engine house would have been, and they're using it, it's the 1890s. Maybe steam. That's what a lot of wave action can do, apparently. Looks like some kind of intake carved into the rock. Pretty impressive. You can see the different layers, sandstone on top. And this is the cataclysm layer. Entering the tunnel. From the early photo, there was no tunnel, but I don't know what the purpose of this tunnel would be. Maybe they brought in supplies. You can see where there's it went beyond here. Then it's just boulders. You can see it's very crude tunneling, just dynamite and pickaxes. Not very hard do. There's a natural crevice through here. Maybe he was designing a power plant This is pretty strange. I don't know if it was just for swimming pools. Originally that is, but the swimming pool was just a cover for, they were using some kind of free energy device. Turbine engine room here with all the red bricks. How would you have something that thick? How many courses of brick is this? And then there's some curvature here. I was wondering about that first time I came here. Pretty weird place. Cliff House is even more mysterious. The original one was rebuilt 4 times. Now it's just closed down. What do you think, guys? Leave some comments. Appreciate everyone's opinion. I don't take anything for granted. Or you have to take everything into account. Get to the truth. These rocks I find, so if you go further out, it's the island. Also I don't know if I mentioned the last video about Adolph. He was born into a Jewish family in Prussia, which later became Germany, but at the time, in the 1830s, it was Prussia, which we know was probably part of Tartaria Empire. And he had to immigrate here after the Prussian Rebellion. Just a side note. We'll go take a look at the Cliff House grounds. Not much to see there other than old photos. It's all closed off. Alright, everybody have a beautiful day. Happy truth seeking. These fishermen out on the boat. So just a side note. Those bass we showed you on the other side of these rocks down below there, it looked like they've been carved out of the bedrock, probably there originally. This is the only construction photos of this site right here. Just wanted to clarify that.